Hello! Hi, everybody! I'm here. Say hi. Drop some comments in so I know that everything's working. It's taken me a second to land here today. Everything's in fast motion. Well, today we are going to be talking about the youth do. That's this one. And I'm just so excited to be spending the day talking about the youth do. I have a little bit of sore throat and I'm a little snotty. And so hopefully I can make it through without a whole lot of sneezing and boogers everywhere. But I don't know. I can't think of a better time to be together and massage on ourselves and spend this time. Even if we're not feeling awesome, even if we are tired. Maybe it's in fact the perfect time. So I do have some questions today, as usual. Thank you everyone who sent in questions. It makes me so happy for this to be interactive. And all the comments are working here too, so I will check in and read what you drop there. And let's just dive right in. Can you tell I kind of want to fast track the questions and just massage? I would do that, but it wouldn't be helpful. So we're going to knock out questions first, and then I have a feeling that we're going to dive in sooner than later. But I do want to answer some of this. I had a few of you ask how the youth do came to be as a formula, and a lot of questions on the ingredients and what makes it so special. And one of you asked the reason behind the creation of the youth do because the blue cocoon can act as so much. And that, well, I'll just start with the youth do came first. So the youth do was part of the original 4 pieces in the collection. So when we first launched 10 years ago, the collection was 4 pieces. It was the problem solver, the clean dirt, the youth do, and the good stuff. So the youth do is right in there as the original. And what's exciting about that to me is there was about 1 billion different versions of the youth do in the early years before it became a part of the collection. And it was the time 10 years ago where face oils were just really starting to become a thing on the market. But I had been using face oils my entire life. It was all that I could use. I couldn't use anything that had an emulsifier because I was allergic to it. And so I'd grown up using oils. And the youth do in its final formulation was a kind of putting together of everything I had ever used up till then of my favorite, most powerful, most active ingredients. And I'm actually just going to read to you what they are because the youth do is 21 of my favorite oils, but a couple of them are super special to me, and you ask about them, and so I just want to talk about a couple of them. Sea buckthorn oil is what makes it so gorgeously orange. If you've never seen it before, look at this color. It's so pretty. And that comes from the sea buckthorn berry, which is super rich in vitamin C, has all kinds of wonderful good nutrients in it. But primarily I started using sea buckthorn for use on radiation burns following chemotherapy, and also just any kind of topical burns, scars, areas where tissue healing actually needed to be addressed. So primarily that was my focus there. And then tamanu, oh, the best oil. If you've never seen it, I'll have to do a sneak peek into our studio one day just to show you the tamanu because it's green and sparkly and so filled with incredible chlorophyll and life and all the great stuff. But that one also for tissue regeneration is just fantastic. And coenzyme Q10 is in this one. It's, what can I even tell you about it? It's what helps with lines and wrinkles. I'm not going to talk about too much of the big qualities of what makes this a graceful aging oil because, frankly, if I could go back in history and change the name, I probably would. Calling this the youth dew feels like a bit of a misnomer. Yes, it'll make you all youthful and glowy and dewy and wonderful, but the youth dew is actually my number one choice for acne and oily prone skin, and that gets missed in the name. So all of you looking for your graceful aging protection, you know that the youth dew is your go-to. You know it. It's fantastic for wrinkles, for plumping, for tissue regeneration, for healing, but it is just as wonderful, maybe even more so wonderful for what it does for tissue regeneration and how that impacts acne, how that impacts sensitivity, and what these core ingredients that I used for traumatic skin conditions can do in normal skin to help with things like eczema, psoriasis, dermatitis, all of that. So plumping, healing, soothing, but also really thinking about tissue regeneration and getting the life into the skin. The youth dew is the glow potion. That's the deal. When you ask about the blue cocoon and the youth dew and when to reach for one over the other, this is what I'm thinking about. When my skin is feeling red, when it's feeling hot, when it's feeling inflamed, when it's feeling uncomfortable, the blue cocoon is my go-to. When my skin is feeling just disoriented, kind of out of sorts, breaking out, lines are appearing, just feeling dull, maybe clogged, then I reach more for the youth dew. And because my skin happens to be a mix of both of them, depending on the moment in time, in life, what's going on inside and outside of my body, that's why I love to blend them so much. And so you'll see in my personal ritual that it's almost always a mix of the blue cocoon and the youth dew together. So we will be doing that. I'll show you some of that. But I just wanted to touch on a couple of those things. I could talk about ingredients forever. There's 21 of them in there. It would take all of the time. So I'm not going to do that. What I want you to do instead is go to Lindstrom.com. The ingredients page has the story of every single ingredient that I use, why, where it comes from, what it feels like for me, what it's doing in here. This has never, ever, ever been about what to leave out. It's always been what has the most impact going in. And so it's hard to talk about just one or two ingredients when every single one serves a purpose and they all work together so beautifully. That was actually something someone said. How on earth do you manage to work out the right ratios between the great oils? Magic. It is the magic. It is the magic. You can look at INCIs all day, look at everyone's ingredients decks, but unless you know the source, unless you know the freshness, unless you know exactly how it was processed, why it was included, how much of it was included, how it's being used, how those ingredients interplay with each other, there's not much point. So look at the ingredients. If this is something that excites you and gets you sparky, then let's have a conversation about that. We can go deep on there by email, care@maylindstrom.com, or there's a more surface level at the website, but deeper than most. And if there's anything in specific you want me to talk about here, I will go back over questions too. Okay. How'd you decide on the ingredients for the formulation? Really, that was just years and years of looking at all of those ingredients and what they do, putting them all together, and ultimately finding ratios where the fatty acids work together correctly, all the different beneficial nutrients work together properly. Would it replace my vitamin C serum? So I want to talk about that. That really depends. What do you want your vitamin C serum to do? The youth dew is full of vitamin C and all kinds of wonderful, wonderful nutrients in there. But there's a lot of different reasons for reaching for a product, and also how you're looking to get that. So if you're asking, would this replace my vitamin C serum? I would ask you what your vitamin C serum is for in the first place and how you're using it now. Is it giving you the benefits you want? Where are your gaps? And that's so individual. There's so many places to get vitamin C. Also, if you're looking for it, the Problem Solver and the Clean Dirt are loaded with vitamin C. That's my personal favorite way to get that input into my ritual. But then the daily consistent skin food of vitamin C of the youth dew applied twice daily every day also fills it in that way. If you want something more concentrated, then of course, use your vitamin C serum. There's fantastic natural ones. There's fantastic synthetic ones. the world is open to you. So I think it's less of a, do I need a vitamin C serum in my ritual, as a, what does my skin need today? Why? My skin, not yours, not hers, not his, not theirs. Whose skin are you feeding, and what's it hungry for? I don't know that I'm ever going to go down the list and go, well, you should have, this kind of moisturizer and this kind of serum and this kind of mask and this kind of treatment. I think it's a little more of a daily check-in than that. Is the Youth Do safe for pregnancy and breastfeeding? Yes, everything is. Our entire collection is safe for pregnancy, postpartum, early stages of conception, family planning, the whole deal, through to breastfeeding and beyond. Mature skin. Is it also good to use on younger skin, like skin in the 20s? Yes. Again, Youth Do, absolutely incredible, wonderful for bringing glow and vitality and healthy cell support for graceful aging, but so good for oily skin, for acne-prone skin, for young skin for sure. It's a fantastic entry point. The Youth Do is also the only thing that my husband uses. Unless he gets razor burn or some kind of redness or irritation, he's a Youth Do guy over the Blue Cocoon. Me personally, if I had to choose, I would drink the Blue Cocoon constantly. But the Youth Do helps balance out in certain aspects for me. If I'm feeling more breakout prone, if I'm getting congested, certainly in the summer, throughout the seasons. And to add more slip for massage, I love the combination of the two. There's also a time when my skin is craving more of the liquid oils over the fattier, heavier oils. And so adjusting those ratios day to day, I found has been really, really key to keeping my skin both comfortable and clear. Sometimes those get, I got distracted by your comments. It's so nice to see them here. Okay. Someone asked, sometimes I break out if I just use the Youth Do on its own long term, but it never happens if I mix with the Blue Cocoon as a twice daily cocktail. I don't mind. I love mixing both and feel results are better than using one by itself, but would love to understand why because I'm a Lindstrom nerd. Okay, cute. This is why. So the Blue Cocoon has all kinds of wonderful beneficial properties. The Youth Do has all kinds of wonderful beneficial properties. What I'm hoping is that if you can have them both in your arsenal, and I know it's a lot, I know it's an investment, that's why get one. You'll get your minis at the cart as a gift every time. Also, if you don't know about that, the minis are back post-promotion. So all orders at Lindstrom.com come with your gift of two minis, refillable at the cart. It's a really great way to try out other things. So if you're investing in the Youth Do, I would highly encourage you to select the Blue Cocoon as a sample and vice versa. So you can see what it feels like to work with them together. On their own, they're both magical. Together, they're just this whole other thing. But I do find that both of them consistently is ideal, and upping the ratios on one or the other as you listen to the needs of that day. Paying attention to, is the oil on the surface of your skin or underneath? Are you dry on top or underneath? Are you feeling more red and flushed, or are you feeling something else? When you can start to have that dialogue within your skin, taking note of that, then you can adjust outside of that. Also, there's so much to think about beyond the moisturizer piece of it. So we're talking about the Youth Do and how it plays with the Blue Cocoon, but both of those are impacted by if you're exfoliating, how well is your skin actually absorbing this hydration? You could lay on the Blue Cocoon and the Youth Do all day long, every day, twice a day, and go, I'm listening to May, I'm doing it twice a day, I'm being really generous. Nothing's happening, nothing's absorbing, I'm still feeling oily and breaking out. If you haven't cleansed your skin before that great hydration, if you're not masking, if you're not taking care of your skin barrier, then you could have the best oils, the best moisturizers, all the most fantastic treatments in the world, and they can't get through. So first, working on that barrier, really supporting your skin so that it can take in all the goodness that you're giving it. And sometimes that's about simplifying. It's taking away some of the actives, taking away some of those things that are impacting your barrier, repairing that so that you can soothe and nourish and calm and get everything happy, and then get back in there and get some actives going to give you the over top glow that you're looking for. Can it make someone with sensitive skin break out? Anything can make anyone break out. So in general, no. The Youth Dew is amazing for sensitive skin for all the same reasons. My original demographic was scars and burns and traumatized skin. So the Youth Dew was the very first oil for the face in my collection because I knew it could work for everyone. I love it so much. So if you're nervous, if you're sensitive, definitely try out a sample first. Get the chocolate box first. Use it as one of your gifts. It's so wonderful. When will I see results? Like anything, over time and with consistency. The Youth Dew is one of those that the very first time you put it on, you can see glow, you can see the plumpness, the beautiful orange color from the sea buckthorn immediately feeds in and absorbs. Also, that's not going to come off on anything any more than any other normal oil. So if you are going out in a white silk suit, maybe not the time to put the Youth Dew on while wearing it. But come in, cleanse, wash yourself, massage the Youth Dew into your wet skin, give it a few minutes to absorb, and you can be just like any other time. Don't go wipe your face all over your white sheets immediately after application. That's all. It's pretty common sense. Do you use it before bed or only in the morning? I use it most always, twice a day, every day, unless I'm going hardcore on the Blue Cocoon 100% over there, or sometimes I'm doing that with just the Youth Dew, especially if I'm breaking out, or if my skin is just being overall finicky, if I'm getting kind of random spots, if I'm getting some congestion, if I feel some things are clearing and I just want to have more fluidity in the barrier, then I'll go with just the Youth Dew for a bit. I'll show you that when we do the demo. I'll show you kind of how those ratios might look. Okay. Best time of day, again, morning, night, all of it. It depends what else you're using. If you're only using the Blue Cocoon and the Youth Dew, use them every day. Use them every day, twice a day. If you're mixing the Youth Dew in with other favorite serums, moisturizers, balms, whatever you got, reach out to us. Tell us what you're using and we'll help you put together in a ritual so that you can have all your favorites. I know that so many of you are using products from all kinds of other places, all kinds of other brands, and all kinds of other philosophies. That's beautiful. That's how we get to find what really, really works for us, for exactly where we're at. So just be in touch. If you are sending us DMs, if you are sending us emails, if you are in touch, just tell us everything. We don't get jealous. I love to know what else you're using so I can really, really, really help you. How much should I be using? I'm going to show you that. Can I use this as my AM moisturizer in the Blue Cocoon in the PM? Yes, and reverse, and both together, and both on their own. I love the texture. How can I use it during the day under makeup without being greasy? Same as with any other beautiful face oil that you love. Massage really, really well. Follow it with the Jasmine Garden, lots and lots of massage, and give it a few minutes before you put on your makeup, before you put on your sunscreen. Do you recommend to follow with a face cream or eye cream after applying the Youth Dew? It depends. If you're using enough that your skin is feeling plump and happy and fresh and awesome, you don't need anything else. Just because your brain says, well, I've got 4 more products in front of me I could use, doesn't really mean that you use them. So after every step, just sit back for a second, involve your fingertips, involve your own knowing, and pay attention. If it's still feeling a little bit tight, if it still feels like there's room there to feed something more in, then maybe try another mist of the Jasmine Garden, maybe feed in another layer of the Youth Dew, maybe add in a little bit of Blue Cocoon in the areas that are dry or feeling a little tight. And maybe it's reaching for that other serum that you love, or the other moisturizer that you love, or the other thing that goes on next, or the 5 things that go on next. I don't know what you're into, but I do know that you know and can start to train when to add more, when to stop, when to listen. I believe in you. Dry skin. Do I need an additional moisturizer or can I just use the Youth Dew? If you have dry skin, I would highly suggest pairing it with the blue cocoon. You're going to just double up the nourishment. You're going to spread out the different kinds of oils and butters that feed things in. There's going to be more protection that can sustain over time. If you have enough natural oil production on your own, the youth dew might be just perfect. And especially for those with oily skin or those that like something a little bit lighter during the day, it's beautiful. But if you're doing that, counter by doubling up in the evening. You can always go light for the day, but at night, then double. If you're on strictly the youth dew, then just go double. Do one layer in, mist, and then do another layer in. Now wait a few minutes. Feel it. Touch it. And you'll know. If you want to add more, go ahead and add more. If you want to add something from a different line, that's fine too. Is it occlusive? I was told I can apply before other products, but wasn't sure as it's an oil. Yes, you can put it before everything else. You can put it after everything else. You can put it before blue cocoon. You can put it after the blue cocoon. You can put it before your favorite moisturizers. You can put it after. It really doesn't matter. You can even mix the youth dew into other oils that you like, into other serums that you like, into other creams that you like. And depending on the balm, ideally waxless like the blue cocoon, you can also mix it into that. So you can't do it wrong. Would you ever put youth dew on dry skin? Sometimes I feel like I'm diluting too much on wet skin. Personally, I love wet skin for my oils always. And there's a number of reasons why. Part of it has to do with slip and massage, and I'll show you that. But part of it is also because there are fat-soluble and water-soluble nutrients. And there's both in these fresh, raw, beautiful, vibrant ingredients that I've given you and packed into this tiny little bottle. There's so much good in here, but it's a little bit like having a salad and not putting dressing on. I don't know what you think you're saving there, but you're not saving anything because without the fat from the dressing, you're not getting the fat-soluble nutrients that are in the salad. And just like in here, you're not going to get the water-soluble nutrients if you don't have wetness on the skin. So that can either be through water from your sink, yay, it's free, it's there. Or it could be through misting on something like the Jasmine Garden or a favorite beautiful clean hydrosol, or other face mists that you love, depending on how much you can build it and can you really, really get your skin wet with it. Let's see. The other questions have to do with layering, so I think it's time to get out your bowl of water. If you are joining me, we can just do this together. And if you're watching this in a replay, pause for a second and go get yourself a bowl of warm water, or just take me over to your sink. I am in my bedroom, so I'm just going to pour a little bowl of water here so I can wet my hands. I'm thinking in the new year, we're going to start recording these in the bathtub, for real. Okay. Oh, I have cold hands, so the warm water feels really, really nice. Even in a setup like this with a towel on my lap, it's nice to remember that you can actually do this yourself anywhere. You can do this in your bed. You can do this in front of the television. You can watch this at movie night. You can do this at your dinner table. You can do it with a friend. You can do it on Zoom. And I'm going to warm my hands up a little bit more. I don't know about all of you, but I have found also that when I can slow down and take a breath before I even come to touching my face, it feels better. And I don't know, I'm new to these talks with you, and I get so excited to see all of you, but I also get nervous. And somewhere around halfway, it feels different, and it feels really nice to settle in and be here. And I'm just really looking forward to the time ahead with all of you as this becomes more normal for me and more normal for you, and we get into a flow. So thank you. Thank you for being here with me. It really, really does mean the world. Okay. If I was doing the youth dew at my sink, I would be splashing with water. I did that last time. And it's a decent method. Okay, we're going to try it again. Because the alternative is I just missed the shit out of myself with the Jasmine Garden. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I also want you to know you don't have to be completely unreasonable. Water is largely free. Take advantage of it. Wet skin is all I'm looking for here. So pretend you've freshly cleansed. I have. I just got out of the shower. I rinsed the Problem Solver right before I got on here. So I'm feeling really good and clean and fresh already. And I did do a little blue Cocoon after I left the shower, so I wouldn't be hanging out here with dry skin for half an hour with you. And I'll just re-wet real quickly. See, if I can do that in my lap, so can you. It's also good to keep in mind, sometimes we find ourselves not able to be at a sink. Sometimes that happens while traveling, while camping. Maybe you get sick and you're in the hospital. Maybe you're, I don't know, we have all kinds of ways that we need to adapt. And sometimes when we adapt, we drop our care. And yeah, today too. I woke up yesterday with a sore throat and a runny nose, and I thought, oh, well, how am I going to record a live if I have to stop and blow my nose or do something? And it was like I wasn't allowed to be human or something. And what I want is to be fully human with you, for you to be fully human with me, for you to be fully human with you, and for us all to remember that when we're feeling like that, the best thing we could possibly do is sit down, immerse ourselves in something warm, and come back to our touch. So that's a lesson for myself as well. Okay, skin wet, skin more wet. And I'm going to show you, if I was using Youth Dew for daytime on its own, I just did 3 pumps. So about like that. It's a good amount. It's more than you think it will be. If this was all I was doing, the Youth Dew on its own, I would do that. So put it together in your palms. I always just press it. You're not trying to like massage it into your hands. You don't want to drink everything up. But this part of your palm is not particularly absorptive. So you can press those together. Now you have it evenly distributed. Makes it really easy to go in and just spread it around. So I get it over the forehead. I get it over the cheeks, down the chin, down the chest. And because my skin is wet, that all went on so easily and feels like plenty. 3 pumps is a good amount, and if you were only using the Youth Dew, that would be great for daytime. If you have oilier skin, you might be able to get away with 1 or 2. If your skin is drier, I would not do less than 2 or 3 of the Youth Dew, especially if you were using it alone. If you were pairing it with a blue Cocoon, I'll show you what that looks like. So, daytime, pairing Youth Dew and the blue Cocoon, I would do, first I'll show you, and again, if this was a pairing amount, I would do a daytime amount of the blue Cocoon, which is about a fingernail. So I got that there. And then I would do 2 or 3 pumps for daytime to go over the top. Those melt together into one and go right over the top. So that's what it would look like as a blend. And if it was evening, I would double the blue Cocoon, keep about the same on the Youth Dew. And that's for me personally. You can play with that a good amount, increasing your blue Cocoon, having maybe just a tiny little bit of the blue Cocoon, really going generous with the Youth Dew, and then playing with what it feels like to go really, really light. I definitely have some of you who say that you get the best results on wet skin, Jasmine Garden, and just a rice grain or 2 of the blue Cocoon, and maybe a pump of the Youth Dew. So play. I found that my skin loves the moisture, loves it. So I put on a lot, and then I give it a minute. I mist with more Jasmine Garden, and I put on some more. And especially in the winter, or when I'm feeling dry, or when I'm feeling finicky, that is the best possible thing that I can do. I also don't care if I walk around all shiny and all oily all the time. For me, that's been the trade between comfortable skin and skin that looks a particular way. And eventually for me, my comfortable skin got to looking like I never imagined my skin could look. And so even if it's breaking out a little bit, even if it still has a little bit of redness, even if I still get perioral dermatitis flare-ups, any of those things just don't matter, because overall, my comfort in my skin, the health of my skin, is just exponentially better than it's ever been in my whole life. And certainly more than a decade ago or 2 decades ago. It really is getting better with time. So I'm excited for you to find what it looks like to discover what you actually like looking and feeling like too in your skin. If you get used to putting a ton of makeup on top to cover the skin that you think that you need to cover up, I don't know, what would happen if maybe you didn't cover it up? What would happen if you weren't trying to solve for removing all of the oiliness and instead just went, but my skin is so happy when it's like this, and let that be okay. When I stopped trying to put makeup over the top, my skin got healthier for all the reasons. I did a better job with my skincare. I could touch in on my skincare throughout the day without messing up my makeup. And I ultimately wasn't putting things on my skin that weren't directly feeding into its health. And for me, that's the biggest difference. In November, I did more social things than I have in the last couple of years. And I found myself taking meetings and taking lunches and taking Zooms, and I put on makeup. And I hadn't put on makeup. I didn't put on very much, but I put on a little bit. And my skin got redder, and I got more broken out around my nose and mouth. And I was wearing masks, and so that all amplified everything. And I just, at the end of this week or two of just heightened in-personness and being seenness and makeuping myself, my skin was worse than it had been in months. And I traded that. I traded the ability to wear makeup for what actually felt good to me and my skin. And I'm learning. I'm learning what's important to me. And I'm learning that actually me showing up here or anywhere, with a pimple, with some redness, is fine. Is totally fine. And I don't have to wear the makeup or hide it from you. And this thing that I've been learning about how to live in my skin all the time, all throughout the day, not just when I cleanse in the morning and not just at night, but all the time, I think has been so key. I do things at home that I haven't quite figured out how to talk about, but it's mostly about this thing that you see me doing now, where I can just be having a conversation and then just be back to petting my forehead or rubbing my chest or giving myself a shoulder massage. And my kids and my husband just see me in this position all the time. I'll be making small talk at a play date with the kids, and I'm surely just in there massaging my little cheek balls without knowing it. So I think I've picked up some different personal habits over the year that go with as well, but it's worth it. Anyway, I'm feeling rambly, but my point being, the less restrictions you put on when you can actually be in your skin, the better. And if you're finding that you're arranging your skincare around makeup, it's just an opportunity to look at it and see if there's a timing adjustment or just a reframing adjustment that might help you with that. Well, there was less questions on my side on the printed, so I'm going to see if anything's been dropped here that I shouldn't miss. Oh, it's just so nice to see all your hellos. Thank you, everyone, for saying hi. And to those of you also calling in with a sore throat and snotty noses, I hope you all feel better soon. It's just this time of year though, I think, isn't it? Right before, I don't know, coming down from the wildness of November and being in this December calm. It's a good way to close the year. I'd love for you to do a recipe talk. I'm so interested in what you cook too. Yes. Yeah, I'm hoping that we get a blog live this year with lots of recipes and just more home stuff, the living, the life. I love reading the ingredients page on the website. Yeah. It's easy to forget, but every single one of those ingredients, we have to actually go find them. We have to find them over and over and over. And it's just like the coolest thing to me that even though we almost never add new products to the line, and even though we almost never change up ingredients, there's still the opportunity with every single batch to make the formula better by having a better vendor, by getting a fresher source, by getting in earlier on the season. We have access to things now that 10 years ago were just a dream. It's just so, there's just all these little parts of our world that, I don't know, in these talks I'll eventually get to all of them. And don't mind me, I'm just scrolling all of the comments so I don't miss any of you. Oh, somebody asked about breakouts with the youth do. If you are having breakouts with the youth do, one, I want to see your entire ritual. So please, please, please do send us an email, care@maylindstrom.com, because it's usually not just about one product when you're breaking out. It's usually about how those products are talking to each other and how they're fitting within your ritual. And so the youth do might be breaking you out, but youth do might be breaking you out because you're applying it to dry skin over skin that's not thoroughly cleansed or that hasn't been exfoliated, or you're using too much or too little, or there's just a billion different things that can be going on. I know that there's a couple immediate ones to check, and that is thorough cleansing and regular exfoliation prior to your moisturizers. They will just absorb so much better. If you're having trouble with absorbing the clean dirt, oh my goodness, the best thing ever. I know we haven't done that one live yet. I will, probably after Christmas, maybe next week or the following. It's amazing, amazing. If you ever feel like things can't penetrate, the clean dirt is so unbelievable. The clean dirt and the youth do will make you feel like you have completely new skin. It's just like tingly and amazing and fresh and vibrant. Those two go together like the Problem Solver and the Blue Cocoon go together. They're magical. Also, if you didn't know that those things go together, it's a really, really wonderful way to design treatments for yourself. Maybe something to think about over this little break. Clean Dirt Youth Do Powerhouse Day and a Problem Solver Blue Cocoon Day, and you will just come out of the holiday feeling like $1,000,000. What else? Good for the dryness, flaky patches. Yes, just put it on. Youth Do good for extreme dryness. Yes, especially when layered. And as I said, I mean, really, I want you to think about it like you can't overdo it. I'm still going to just dip my hands in this water because that's what I would do in real life. So I'm going to put more water. If you're really dry, okay, so I've already got a couple layers on there. You already saw that. But let's pretend that I'm super dehydrated and parched. You can just do it again. I've got another layer. I can go in a little bit more. I'm actually going to add a little bit of the Youth Do directly to, the Jasmine Garden directly to the Youth Do there. Look, it all beads up. It's so pretty. Smells insane too. But if I mix it in, especially with the Jasmine Garden, it helps to work as a penetration enhancer. So it allows everything to go even deeper into your skin. And so you can do as many layers of that as you want, either dipping your hands into warm water between layers or misting with the Jasmine Garden between layers. And then just get in there. I always wonder how much technique to really share in the massage portions, because I don't want you to get stuck in your head about something that is all about touch. The things that I keep in mind when I first apply, it's the distribute everywhere, so it gets everywhere, so you immediately have comfortable skin. So even if you spend a lot of time up here focusing on the forehead or on the eye area, by the time you get down to your chest, you already still have some there. So get your oils everywhere, everywhere. And then soft, drapey hands, where you're using the actual weight to glide down yourself. And you should always, especially if you're really focusing on massage and having this time, to have enough oil or have enough water so that there's slip. You should always be able to move your fingers across your skin without it tugging. You don't want it to tug, you want it to glide. And so if you need to, just keep dipping your hands in the water and going back in with oils as you need to. And you can experiment with what oils feel best. There's a slightly different feeling to massaging with the Blue Cocoon versus massaging with the Youth Dew or massaging with them mixed together. And sometimes you want more slip, sometimes you want more grip, sometimes you want it to feel really fat and cushiony, sometimes you want it to be really liquid slippery. Warm skin is really helpful. And for all of you who are asking about lines, the Youth Dew is beautiful to get right in there into these areas where you want to give more attention. I get this line straight down the center of my forehead, and I like to put my fingers right in the center of it and pull it aside. And my eyes get tense from all this time on screens. So again, making sure you have super slip, lots of water or lots of oil or both, so you can get right into the eye area and actually massage around there. Pinching your brows, opening up this area, getting into the cheekbone. Tight chin. I've noticed my lips being really tight lately, and lips feel really strange to massage and definitely look strange to massage. So because I know that that holds me back from sharing, I am going to share anyway. Because if I'm at home, I am massaging my lips. I am getting in here in this crease by the nose. I am going into these spots where the wrinkles and the folds are and opening them up. And I do that, yes, because it helps soften those wrinkles, but it softens those wrinkles because these areas of intention where you're holding the muscles in your face tight are why you have the wrinkles to begin with. So I might not care that much about the wrinkles, and let's be real, I do care, but I don't want to care. And I don't like the message that it puts out into the world when I care so much. And so I watch my dialogue around it, both my external dialogue for all of you, because I think that the messaging that we share in beauty is important, but for myself too. I want it to be okay to want to look fresh and glowy and beautiful and youthful forever. But I also want it to be okay to have a wrinkle that goes down the center of my forehead because I'm going to get older. This feels good. This helps release my tension, helps me come back to my breath. If you take this part of your lips, you can even pinch the lip itself. I like to go actually directly right inside the lip. These muscles are tight also. Someday we'll do an inside mouth one. Okay. Consistent use makes my skin way less oily and makes it look so damn good. Yes. Oh, my favorite thing about you and your brand is how much emphasis you put on connecting with your skin and learning to intuit what it needs. Thank you for saying that. I feel like if all I do is get up here and tell you what it already says on the box, it already says on the website, then I'm doing us both a disservice. The point of these lives for me is really because we just don't spend time seeing how another person cares for themselves. And I think about this as a mom to 2 little kids, and I watch my children watch me. And yesterday, my daughter, who's 9, she was off for school for holiday break, and out of nowhere, even though it was a work day for me, she came up and she asked if she could have a spa day with me. And my daughter has never asked for that ever. And so it was such a surprise to me, but it felt like such a win because what she was asking was to spend some time together caring for ourselves. And she asked me to run her a bath the way that I do it. She wanted all the snacks. She wanted all the smelly things. She wanted the music. And she wanted me to show her how I touch myself. And she's never asked me that before. She knows kind of loosely what I do for work. She knows that mom is a little bit witchy and makes potions for the skin. And she knows that I spend my life taking care of people. That's basically what we tell our children we aim to do. But I didn't know that she got that part of it. And so I started running her a bath, and we're sitting there, and she wanted me to show her how to use a dry brush. And I love dry brushing. I don't have a great one to recommend. I hope someday to make one for you. Anything that you can get your hands on is great. But there's a process of doing it that I like, where you start from the toes and you work your way up your body, and it's intentional, and you feel everything as you move through these parts. And it's a little bit like having a guided meditation, but that's physical. And having my daughter ask me how to do that, and then doing it with her, watching her watch me do it, felt magical. And it felt like if I can do that, if I can share that, then there's a win. Because when I wash my face with my girlfriends, if I go to the spa ever, if I am with my mom and we're in a shower together, like, there are things that I watch and I am curious. How do you move? How do you touch yourself? What does your massage look like? What feels good to you? I like to do this to my ears. I like to do this to my chest. What are you doing that feels incredible? And so if all that ever happens is we show up here every week and I pat my face and we talk about things, maybe that's enough. Because what I want is for it to show what it really looks like to get in there, in all the funny parts, to get into the lips, to get into the nose, to get buried in the chest, to get buried in the armpit, to move all of these places and have it not just be like, okay, and now I'm going to dot a little bit of moisturizer here and a little bit here and a little bit here, and voila. When I see product demonstrations anywhere, when I see videos of, how to apply an oil, it feels incredibly unsatisfying to me. And also makes me feel a little bit like a weirdo, because I will massage forever. And I just want you to see that you can be a weirdo with me too. Okay. And I will save this, assuming Instagram lets me, so don't worry. Can you give us your thoughts on getting monthly peels? Are you in favor of it? How about professional feels, like once or twice a year? I think that really, really depends. Personally, I almost never go get a professional facial. The last couple of years, that's been for obvious reasons. Before that, I just hadn't found my people. I did find a couple of women who I love being treated by, and so I make room for that. But for me, that's largely about going somewhere and getting loved on, and less about what's actually happening in the physical skin. So I like to get treatments so I can have someone else massage me, so I can have someone else layer on the love. But my home care practice is so thorough and so consistent that I don't have that same need. I have never received a professional peel. I am too sensitive for most things. So there's much of the skin world out there that I personally have yet to discover. So I do a lot of research. I talk to all my clients, talk to my team, talk to all my dermatologists, and I think it's a really personal decision. I would not put pressure around it. Your home care is number one, for sure, and anything outside of there is bonus on the cake. Jasmine Garden and Youth Do is my only Zoom camera prep. It's a beautiful way to be. I have Blue Cocoon in the chocolate box for my 75 adopted Nana tomorrow. Oh, it's a perfect gift. Yeah, more people asking about treatments. My skin is not happy with makeup and prefer to feed my skin glow with all your precious skin food. Yes. Any chance of making Jasmine Garden twice the size as a second option for an overseas order? Ooh, yeah, a giant bottle would be amazing. You know, it's really hard to do glass in the giant bottles, although the Happy Galaxy is coming in a 200 milliliter, which is twice the size of the Jasmine Garden. So who knows? Maybe. Product age. I recommend using everything in our collection within 1 year of opening. While it's safe beyond that, that's where you're going to get the most power. That's where you're going to get the most potency. We pay up to 10x for some of our ingredients to get them to you super, super fresh with no shelf time direct from the source. So if this is aging on your shelf, sitting for years, you're just losing a lot of that investment. So it's safe, but your skin is going to be happiest if you get it all on there right away. Open it up, use it up, show up consistently, restock when you're ready. If the Youth Do and the Blue Cocoon are oils, can you use them before other serums that are water-based? Yes, you absolutely can. You can use them before, you can use them after. I've never really worn makeup, and I think it just saves time, money, and sanity. Love my skin with the Blue Cocoon Youth Do. Yes. Once broken out, how would you use the Youth Do to help heal? Oh, love and gentleness, loves. If you're having a breakout right now, if you have the problem solver, get that on there for sure. No matter what kind of breakout it is, even if you're feeling sensitive, even if it feels hot, the problem solver is number one, if you can do that. After that, calm everything down, cool hands, light touch. Do get the massage in there. If you have open breakouts, be a little gentle. More pressing. If it's more congestion and more stagnation, then go ahead and really get in there and massage. Outside of that, send us an email, let us know what's been going on, and we can help you more directly with that breakout. I just got the Blue Cocoon. Has changed everything about my nighttime routine. Feels like a ritual. Bought some for my best friend for Christmas. Oh, love you. Love this for razor irritation. Yes. Everywhere too, both for facial shaving, but also any other parts. I have sensitive skin and I'm concerned about over massaging my skin. Ooh, such a good point. That's a great one to end on. So for people whose skin is too sensitive to massage, and that happens either because you're in the middle of an outbreak or because you have some sort of a flare-up of something else going on, inflammatory or otherwise, eczema, psoriasis, dermatitis. Sometimes you just can't touch. Sometimes the breakouts are just too painful. Sometimes you're just too dry or too crispy or too sensitized. That's okay. If that's happening, if you can tolerate the Jasmine Garden, just do that over the skin and you don't even have to touch. Just leave that be. Put that on nice and gentle. And then focus your massage. If you can't massage your face, massage your chest, massage your armpits, massage your arms, massage your neck, massage your ears, massage your scalp, massage anything that can get the flow going and get that feeding into your facial area without actually touching your face. So obviously, ideally, we're in healthy enough condition that we can get our hands in there and we can work all the little muscles and work all the little lymph and work all of the little blood and oxygen nutrient delivery systems. We can just get it all going. But when you can't, here, 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 massage everywhere else. The blood will flow, the lymph will flow, the oxygen will flow, and it will all feed in where it needs to go. And eventually, you will get to join in on your face too. Is it better to apply together with the Blue Cocoon or layered over under? Really depends. Both. Just started using Blue Cocoon, rosacea. Oh, I don't think the clean dirt gets enough love. It's so energizing. I agree. But that's okay, we're gonna fix that. Everyone tell your friends. Oh, small correction on husband practices. There's my darling popping in. I only use the youth dew after I clean dirt in the shower now. Ooh, there we go. Thanks, darling. It's true. We're all a work in progress. My husband too. How do you settle on your scent profiles? Is it just a bonus from the benefits of the essential oils, or are you thinking about how something will smell when you formulate? Ooh, this really depends what it is. So almost everything, it's kind of a happy accident that they smell amazing. But that's just nature's miracles right there. Because from the beginning, I start a formula thinking about efficacy. I start by going, what is the goal? Is it tissue repair? Is it burn recovery? Is it calming inflammation? Is it, what are the primary things I'm looking to affect? And so then I pull out all of the ingredients that do that, and then I narrow in and refine to focus on the problem. And then when I'm far enough along in the formula that I'm getting the result that I want, if there are tweaks that I can make to make it smell extra amazing using those same ingredients, then I do. If there's something that I can add that is extra beneficial for the skin and adds to the scent, I will. But I don't add anything purely just for scent unless it's a product that's all about that. For example, the Happy Galaxy. Ooh, super sensorial bliss. It is so gorgeous, smells insane, and it's half the point. So all of those get to come in there after we've already established that they establish some kind of skin benefit. Youth dew similar. There's a bunch of really beautiful essential oils in here. They smell amazing, thank God, because some of the base oils are really rich, are really, really focused on efficacy and don't smell that great. So it took several iterations, several is like a fraction of how many iterations it actually was, to land on a final formula that feels amazing, smells amazing, and really delivers on the skin goal. So I approach it from all sides. I am really into the sensory experience, so it has to land somewhere delightful, but it's not where I lead from. I lead from skin first, and I only use the ingredients that really have a proven track record, both over the course of history and among my personal practice. I love your massage on the forehead from your live about the Blue Cocoon. Yes, I mean, really, just massaging my forehead is my favorite. I just started getting a soft line in my forehead, and the massage is amazing for it. It really is. And you can even take the youth dew, just a drop of it, and just massage it right into that spot. That can just become a part of your repeating practice. Also, this makes me feel a little bit like petting a kitten. And it's really, really calming and wonderful feeling to just do this. And it doesn't have to be any more than that. So also for those of you that are really sensitive, just those little lines. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It can be. If your skin is hardier, get your fingers in there and you can actually just kind of pull that line apart like a mountain. But if you're more sensitive, just trace it. Just trace it and talk to it. Okay. Are you going to continue these lives? Yes, I am going to go through every product. So there's a few left. So the next few weeks will be trying to do one a week to get through everything. So we'll have a baseline. You can watch those, you can go back, you can replay them, get as many tips as you want, and then we'll go deeper because we'll have the foundation and then we can really, really get into it. I do crazy face stretches and make noises in the morning and do arm stretches and breathing exercises. My face is rosy pink afterwards, feels great for the rest of the day. Really, so much of what happens in the face skin is not about products at all. It's about moving, it's about breathing, it's about joy, it's about bringing that pleasure in. So yeah, the lives, I think once we're through the products, are gonna come back to what are these personal practices we do every day to love on ourselves and each other, and can we share them with each other, together in community just like this? That's my hope. Thank you so much, May, for another wonderful live. It's made me think so much about really spending time on checking in on my skincare and my routine to make it pleasurable. Yes, doesn't have to be simply functional. There's function right there with the pleasure. Any date for the Happy Galaxy launch? Yes! Okay, I don't have an official date, but it will be next month. It will be sometime later January, with hopes to get that going before Valentine's. If you are not on the wait list, go find the Happy Galaxy on Lindstrom.com, sign up for the wait list, then we'll know how much we need to make so we can get this launched. Would love the mega-sized jasmine garden here in the US too. I hear you. And we'll definitely talk more about the Happy Galaxy. SPF before or after? After, yes. Tret, gotta use SPF daily, for sure. If you're using Tret, retinol, anything else, or just wanna know in general, SPF always comes after the blue cocoon and the youth do. Treat your skin first, then protect over the top. Is it okay to use the Problem Solver, the Clean Dirt every day? Depends. Watch those lives. Go back, watch the Problem Solver. If we wanted to hydrate our breasts, which of your products are safe and recommend? Oh, the blue cocoon should really just be called the boob cocoon. And I have a number of clients, particularly those who have gone through breast cancer and reconstruction, all of the different surgeries. Massage your breasts. You can absolutely use the blue cocoon. You can absolutely use the youth dew. Use lots and lots of water. Do it in the shower, do it in the bath, do it in bed. Just do it all the time. Massage your beautiful, precious, wonderful selves. Is it bad to massage without any oil on? Yes. Like midday if I don't have access, for sure. Don't massage your skin without washing your hands. So if it's the middle of the day and you're just trying to pop in and massage, don't do that. Go to the bathroom, wash your hands really, really well. Also wash your face really, really well. You don't want to be massaging all of the buildup of your makeup and SPF and environmental pollutants and bacteria and all of the stuff. Just don't do that. Start everything clean. If you're looking for something to refresh during the day, just give yourself a handful of mists with the Jasmine Garden. That will help reset your mood, help reset your skin. Wait to touch your skin until your hands are clean. My skin feels slightly tight an hour after Blue Cocoon. Should I apply more? Yes, do. Please address why water is enough. Oh, that's a really complicated one. Hyaluronic acid has a completely different function than water. I'm gonna have to address that in a different topic so we don't fall off before this gets off. So I'm gonna wrap here. Anyone whose questions I didn't get to, please send it by email to care@maylindstrom.com or send a DM, or just know that if you already submitted a question, we'll follow up with you to reach out to make sure that we answered everybody. Thank you all again so much for being here. I'm really, really looking forward to seeing you again next week. Have a wonderful holiday, a wonderful break. I will miss you. Go love on yourselves. Go love on each other. Make it a beautiful day.